How is it that certain people seem to get so much done in so little time? Or even companies like Amazon.com, who this year will do over $250 billion. And they've only been in business about 20 years. Not only do they make devices and sell most every product in the world, they host through their AWS service so many of the large e-commerce companies and web companies. It's amazing how pervasive they have become. Wow. And I think that it's because of their ability to make decisions. Our ability to make decisions will increase our capacity to take action more quickly. In this video, I want to talk about 4 tips that I have that you can use to take action immediately through better decision making. And I want to share an example and one of the rules that Jeff Bezos uses in his company to make decisions more quickly. To start getting more of what you want, set a target and take action. You can start by subscribing and clicking the notification bell, and you're on your way. So first off, what does it mean to decide? Decide has the root word of side. It comes from the Latin word cadere, which means to kill or cut off, homicide, fungicide, herbicide, pesticide, genocide. All of those things mean to kill. So how is that different than our modern day interpretation of decision? A lot of times when we decide, we treat it a lot more casually. I'm deciding on what I want to do, as if we're kind of entertaining constantly lots of options and keeping some of those options open. Where truly using the word decide is to cut off and kill all other options. How often have you had an important project to do and you felt stress about not starting it or not making more progress, only to realize that you still haven't really decided exactly what you were going to do? That's a failure to decide. Keeping all of our options open is one way that we keep ourselves from taking action. The more decisive we can be, the more quickly we'll be able to decide and make progress towards our goals. Tip 1 is we need to make a decision in the first place. It's kind of like when you first meet someone and you're having a conversation with a new person and you realize 2 minutes into the conversation that you've already forgotten their name. Have you really forgotten their name? Can you really not remember it? Or did you not put it to memory? Did you not commit it to memory in the first place? And I would say that a lot of times when we're doing a project and we're unsure about how to make the next step, it's because we haven't made a decision in the first place. Tip 2 is practice making decisions without all the information. Jeff Bezos has a rule, it's a 70% rule, where he says that if you wait until you have more than 70% of the information, say up to 90 for example, you're likely moving too slowly. He says there are a few exceptions to that, but in general, you make decisions quickly. So practice making decisions without all the information. Tip 3 is create a memo. How often have you known that you've needed to make a change, but you were unsure what to do? So you get caught in a sort of tailspin where you're browsing the web, unproductively surfing and doing light research in this area or that area, all on the cusp or on the sidelines of the project that you should be working on, but it's very unproductive. When you find yourself in that area, consider writing a memo. Write down stop doing everything and start writing down what it is that you need to accomplish. Start making decisions. What do you need to be doing? What are the things that are going to get in your way? And as you start writing that out, a lot more clarity is going to come to you. Jeff Bezos at Amazon is actually really big on memos. He encourages all of his executives to write 6-page memos as a way to gain clarity around a project. So why is it that you feel a sort of relief as you write down all of your tasks or all of the open loops that you have in your mind? David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done, calls those open loops. Any decision that you have on your mind that's not yet made it takes a certain part of your active working memory. He calls it your RAM. So it's on your mind and it's causing you stress. If you have too many of those things, you're more likely to react disproportionately when another thing's added onto your plate and you snap. Anything you can do to remove all of those open loops will make you more capable of making decisions because you're going to be less stressed. We've heard that both Mark Zuckerberg, Barack Obama, and so many other people wear similar outfits every day. And one of the reasons is something called decision fatigue. Every time we make a decision and have to decide, it takes a piece of our willpower. So throughout the day, if we're always constantly making decisions, then our ability to make good decisions will diminish as the day goes by. So if there are certain things in your life that you don't need to make decisions about, like your wardrobe, for example, then you can remove those things from your queue. Tip 4 is write down all the different projects that you have on your plate and try to remove one of them. Oftentimes, we try to put our focus into too many areas. We don't cut things off as we should, and then our focus is diminished. When giving advice to a younger colleague, Warren Buffett said, write down the 20 things, it was 20 or 25, write down all those things that you want to do, and then only pick the top 4 or 5 and do whatever you can to not touch the ones that didn't get chosen. And that really highlights that focus is so important if you really want to make progress in this world. One thing that Warren Buffett does is he spends, well, I think the main thing he does is he spends so much time reading about companies, assessing the health of different companies that he's investing in or looking to invest in. And that's what he does. He doesn't have all of these other different efforts. He focuses his energy in one area. And that's because he's decided ahead of time to cut off so many of these other things that could take his time. So how can you start doing this today? I'm assuming you have email. Next time you go through your email, instead of reading the different header, reading a little bit into each email and going and skipping and going all around, start deciding on each email. The minute you open an email, if you can do that in less than a few minutes, just handle that issue right then, instead of just allowing all of those little open loops to just stick around in your email inbox. So leave a comment in the box below of how many emails you have in your inbox and how many you're going to have after you start deciding on all of those open loops that you've got there. So I challenge you to continue to implement all of these tips so you can be more decisive and get more done. I'll see you in the next video.